I'm doing a double recording. So I'm here live, and then I'm also going to be recording live on YouTube as well. So that's happening as well for the YouTube channel. And so after this live expires here on Instagram, you can still check it out over on YouTube. So, hi to everybody. Today I wanted to check in on everyone. It's been a few weeks since you've been either working remotely from home and doing all this social distancing, which I shared a post earlier on Instagram just sharing, but I feel like social distancing is really the wrong term to use right now. I think good evening, Yuli. I think we really need to be connecting more than anything. We don't need to try to isolate ourselves. I think when people hear social distancing, we get confused. We're hearing self-quarantine, we're hearing work from home, we're hearing distance learning, and all of those terms are really triggering for me right now because I really feel like we need to connect. And I thank everyone that went ahead and entered some of the ways that this social distancing, this COVID-19 has impacted all of us. So today, in today's live, I really want to get really authentic and transparent, help us connect to one another, let us know that we're not alone, and also share a little bit.
They can't hear.
About, I'm sorry, we're recording over here on this end.
That it's difficult to hear.
Maybe I need to try to put in some earbuds. We're trying to work on the hearing over on the YouTube right now. Sorry about all that. Hi, guys.
But there's static.
Oh, a lot of static. Try to take off this. See if that. What I'm gonna do is I did get a lot of from the community over on Instagram. I did get a lot of people responding as to how the COVID-19 distancing has impacted everybody. So I'm gonna, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see it pop up here, and if not, I'll read it out loud too. But some people have mentioned that classes are ending early so they can get out of the workforce to address needs to everyone. So this is something that, at least for me as well, my school year has not been canceled yet, but we will hopefully return after May 4th. That's what we're extended to. So I'm going to share a little bit about what I do and how I'm connecting to my clients and students. But the wonderful thing about my clients, at least, is that they are very resilient. My kids have been through so much in their lifetime. They're about, I'd say, between the ages of 15 and 23 that I work with. And so they really haven't felt the impact quite yet. It's really like they're resting maybe a little bit too much. So my role is really trying to pull them out of this rest and trying to get them engaged back into learning and completing something or anything, actually. So I see that classes are ending early. And getting back into the workforce to work is also something that's really scary, I think. That's something that's kind of scary for the communities to kind of get out there. We don't know what kind of jobs are going to be out there. Internships have ended early and classes are ending early as well. So we're seeing a lot about that. I've had a lot of questions about how will the MSW programs look next year? Is everything going to go back to normal? And so just kind of chime in on comments if you have any answers to those, if you've gotten any answers. Of course, I'm not in an MSW program. I'm already working in the field of school social work. So I have another one here that says that remote therapy is more exhausting than therapy in person. And I have to agree with this. Remote therapy or teletherapy, so doing therapy by phone, by email, through Zoom or these types of apps is really, really difficult because it's hard to kind of gauge how a person is taking your tone, what you're saying, whether they're understanding it. Is someone else present in the room? Is there a friend? Is there a family member that's also present? You don't know confidentiality-wise. So there is a lot more that goes into this remote therapy. So yeah, these are all things that we're struggling with. I'm going to continue on. Had another person share that they feel helpless assessing for barriers and needs with no resources to offer. So the resources are very brief right now. Here in San Antonio, I will be at a food bank, a food drive in my community next week. I'm very curious to see how that goes on Tuesday. I'll be kind of assisting with the food drive. But there are so many barriers right now going on for our community members, that it is hard to provide those things, but I think people understand, and a lot of times it's just being able to sit with the clients through those barriers and letting them know that you know that it is a struggle, that they're not alone. All those types of things are important to let somebody know, because I know we want to come up with the solutions right away, but it is tough, and I think people don't expect us to have that magic wand, but they do need someone to be there with them during this time, and that's our role as social workers. So I have another person saying that they were furloughed from their job, and their classes are all online, and she just misses people. And that's exactly why I'm here, trying to let everyone know that these struggles, missing others, missing family members, clients, friends, all this extra time is something that it is hard to deal with, and we are going to miss one another, and this connection is really essential. We luckily have social media to help us connect, but it can also be a barrier, and my mind goes to those that might not have the ability to get online or to use a smartphone or things like that. So that's another thing. I see a lot of people chiming in here that they miss people as well. So that's really difficult. I'm going to keep on reading a few more, and then I'll share a little bit about me. I have someone on here saying zero motivation. And final papers for my first year of MSW are due in 2 weeks. That's really difficult because the motivation is very low. I mentioned that with my own clients, it's hard to get them motivated to do any type of schoolwork. And I know, at least within the schools, there is accountability. Hi, Donzel. There are things that our students need to be doing, but I guess the expectations are really lax, and that's something to keep in mind. Is any type of effort is something. So I feel like with this class of 20 and 21, these two classes, my clients are, I'd say, probably like 10:30 to noonish is when they're waking up, and then they are messaging me and contacting me at all hours. I was up until about 10:30 yesterday, so responding to some of them. So I see where it's hard, especially if you work with high schoolers or adult clients. Hopefully, I'm hoping the little ones are asleep by then, but I know that a lot of people's clocks are being turned upside down. Our clients understand, but we really have to set timers for yourself. That was what I would suggest, is set timers for yourself in order to know when you're done for the day, or when you're going to take a break and go eat lunch. That I need to take my own advice on that one, because I skipped lunch entirely today just to kind of work through it. And it is hard to set those boundaries, so I agree with that one a lot. That's tough. Schools in my area have suspended hiring, and I was planning on applying in May. So, we're actually waiting on a new school social worker as well. We had a vacancy, and I think they had hired, and I was kind of wondering myself, like, people that are applying, and then I know that some people are interviewing still. So I think every district is doing things a little bit differently. Did it turn on? Okay, is it back on?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. So schools are doing things a little bit differently as far as the hiring process, but this will give us time to kind of bulk up that resume, take a few steps back, practice our interview skills, so that we know for sure we're ready to go hard and go strong when those interviews do open up. I was just starting to do my own report writing for my school social work internship and feeling unprepared. So all the feeling of unpreparedness is something that happens when we're throwing these big curveballs. But, we just got to be sure to continue roll with the punches as much as we can, because there are lessons to be learned throughout this time. Someone mentioned I went on maternity leave right before, she put right before shit hit the fan. So feel like I abandoned my patients. And that's the feeling of guilt that is coming up for a lot of us, is when we are feeling comfortable at home, when we have the food and the access to the resources that we need, and our clients don't. There's a lot of guilt that might come across here, and just being able to sit with that and realize that, and not going into a Superman complex and trying to save everybody. Hi, Chase. But just trying your best to really think systemically, think of where you can be of best service, and then also think of how we can hopefully impact the bigger scheme, more macro in these senses. How do we advocate? How do we not have history repeat itself in a situation like this? Someone mentioned they had to do my internship interviews via Zoom and don't know what my best option is. So yeah, interviewing during Zoom, like I mentioned, this class, 20 and 21, there is no other, like you all are just rolling with these punches. I can't even imagine having to do an interview in that way. So you all are definitely developing some skills that most of us are just starting to like pull out of our pockets. So you all are definitely getting a lot of experience here, working through crisis. But I know that that's hard to figure out then what is your best option and things like that. So I don't know if anyone else has been in that boat. That's one of the first that I've read like that. Someone mentioned it's not affecting me too bad, but it's just now that graduation is postponed and I have no motivation. Yeah, I think with those traditions, those celebrations being postponed, it's hard. That I'm glad that you're sharing that because I wonder how to motivate my own students. Knowing that graduation is something that's kind of up in the air and maybe an uncertainty might be a reason why they have a lack of motivation as well. Usually on my campus, we do celebrate each and every graduation with a big, over the announcements, we yell, we scream, we hoot and holler. I break out the pom-poms and we all gather around as an admin and as a support staff. And so actually I think next week we're going to record just a big celebration. Whenever a student earns a credit or is close to graduation, we're going to send them that video. So that should be really fun to do. But it's really thinking outside of the box is what we're going to have to be doing for our clients now more than ever before. I'm going to hit another one here. It's hard to balance work, internship, and classes all from home. And this goes back to my point from last week. You know, we are not simply working from home, but we're at home, expected to work, expected to do classes, expected to do our internships through this pandemic. So please give yourself some leeway, give yourself a pause, give yourself some breaks, and don't expect too much from yourself right now because this is a very tough time. Okay, 12 minutes ago I got this one, but what grad school did you go to? I went to the University of Texas at Austin for my I was going to say BSW. No. I got my bachelor's in psychology there in 2007, and then 2 years later I got my master's in social work there at UT in Austin. So that's where I was. That was an easy one. Struggling to find a second-year internship for my MSW program with all the closures. Yeah, I know, and you're not alone. These internships, some are interviewing, some are not, some are closed. So kind of lean on your MSW program to help you through this. You don't feel alone because I know they wouldn't want you to feel alone in this time anyway. Put the horns. Yes, Chase. School is online now, and it's a little more complicated than I thought it would be. It's a lot more complicated. Like I said, as long as you're trying and making an attempt, I don't see any reason why people get failed. I think administrators, upper levels understand that this is a hard time, and I don't think anyone has it in them to be failing anybody. That's my hunch, and at least I hope not. So at least that's how it's working in my district. I'm not motivated. I need to finish out this semester, but it is so hard. You are not alone. The motivation level is low. So this is giving me ideas on kind of helping y'all through motivation-wise. I'm thinking of making a longer video just based on motivation and what keeps me motivated right now. I've shared a lot of meditation, a lot of affirmations that are helping me to just ground myself and focus back. A schedule is good, but sometimes, we don't want to stick too hard to a schedule because we don't want to put too much limitations on ourselves and then feel like we didn't get anything done. Because once you feel that way, then you even, I don't know, at least my motivation level just drops even more. So someone mentioned MSW program is terminated. Our internships after spring break and online classes are exhausting. They are exhausting. Give yourself some breaks for sure. Terminated the internships. I don't know where that leaves you, honestly, with what you have had, what you've done. I don't know if you get that credit, if you have to redo the whole thing. These are all really good questions to ask, and that I'm asking as I'm just reading these. This one came in 7 minutes ago. I'm a BSW student scared about finding a job after virtual graduation. Honestly, I've said it plenty of times here. I really feel like these classes of 2020 and 2021 are going to be, you all are just really been challenged. And I don't think you should worry too much about finding a job. I think there's going to be a high need, honestly, of social workers after this pandemic. I think there's going to be a lot of people that are going to need services, that are realizing that mental health needs to be a focus more than ever now. So my fingers are crossed that this is really going to be a really something that's going to benefit at least our field. Um, Being online student and a parent to a toddler and juggling many roles. Oh my gosh, this is tough. I have two kids of my own. They're out of toddler range, but it is still difficult. And we really have to take those times when our kids are down for a nap, we work, or we nap ourselves. We're really gonna have to figure out how to do it, but it can be done. It really can, as long as we are taking those breaks and really pushing ourselves to take those pauses and not try to be everything to everyone all at one time. Please don't do that, because you will stress yourself out and burn out. Recommendations for contacting students and families and having very little luck. Honestly, my biggest recommendation is to grab cell phones. I grabbed a lot of cell phones from my students previously, before this whole social distancing and school closures. I had a lot of my students' personal cell phones. I connected with them via cell phone because they just, we had a lot of truancy, we had a lot of dropouts, and that's how I was best able to connect with them. So I text them. Honestly, I feel like students nowadays, at least high school or middle school and up, are going to be more reactive and going to respond more to text messages. They will not answer phone numbers that they don't recognize. That's what I've seen. They are not doing Zoom very much. And I also created an Instagram account for my students for my campus. I created an Instagram account. There's nothing confidential that goes up on there as far as like teletherapy or anything like that. It's simply informational so that I can get information out to them. I don't know if I'm going to have time to go through the comments that are rolling in here, because I have so many that are coming into the question box, but thank you. So someone mentioned, any suggestions on how to acknowledge and celebrate high school seniors, since they most likely, I'm guessing their graduation is going to be postponed. Like I mentioned, my campus is going to record a celebratory video. We typically do this on my campus anyway. We hoot and holler and cheer, and we're going to probably do a video type of thing with that, and then send it to the students whenever they earn a credit, whenever they're getting close to graduation. I celebrate them on our campus Instagram page. They love to see their pictures out there. They love to communicate with each other on there. It's a safe space for them to do so with their friends, because not all of them are friendly on social media, but that's a safe space that I've created for them. Would this be a good time to study for my LCSW? Yes. See, now we're on the right track right here, is using this time to study, using this time to take that pause, to become and to work on the things that we truly envision ourselves becoming. So yes, I would truly say that that would be an effective way to use this time. How are you collecting data for your IEP students during online learning? Admin is asking us to collect data, I'm guessing. Honestly, for me, my district is split up a little differently. We do have special ed case managers, and it's their role to collect that data. We also have our school, 504/ARD personnel is in charge of that. When I really am brought into ARDs and IEPs is when there is like a social disability, or there's a social thing happening, or an attendance thing. Right now, with attendance being pretty much shot, I haven't really been a part of those IEP meetings so much. So that's kind of, I don't really have a great response for that, Brandy. I'm sorry, but I'll see if maybe the community here has something. Struggling with motivation to finish semester now that graduation is canceled. I think I mentioned that one, and I think that's something that most of us are having a hard time either engaging clients, because those graduations are pushed back or postponed. It's just something we need to really think outside of the box, and I'll share more as I learn how to motivate the clients, and basically our population is just dealing with all of this. Learning how to help others when I need help myself right now. It's hard. So I feel, honestly, that understanding that you need help yourself, that's the first step. As long as you can understand that and see that within yourself, it's okay if you need a break. It's okay if you need some time. It's okay if you're stressed. With my little one, he has gotten on Zoom with his teachers. He's 5 years old, and he gets tearful. So I try not to keep him on Zoom too much. I know his teachers want to see him, but he gets tearful, and I have to help him through that. And so we never know how our clients are reacting during this time. Sometimes it's overwhelming to see your teacher or to hear your counselor, your social worker, your therapist by phone. It can get a little overwhelming, and letting them know that that's okay. It's okay to do that. I would set a lot of parameters, letting them know that it's a safe place, and they'll call you definitely when they need you. You need to trust the client is going to do that, and they will. The transition has been really tough on me emotionally and mentally. No graduation for me. And, this is my last one that I had coming in here. I don't want you to feel alone. A lot of graduations are being canceled. That doesn't discount all of your work. That doesn't discount everything you've done to get here. You all are amazing. Please don't stop your motivation. We're gonna tackle that. I'm gonna make a few videos, a few posts to help you with motivation, because I know that it's hard to kind of go through that. I'm getting text messages already from my clients here, and you see how I just light up. I love hearing from my kids, and really that's who we got to keep at the forefront, is the client. We're not expected to be perfect during this. Your clients need you to maybe be not so perfect. They need to see that. They need to see you and engage with you in this way. And they need to just know that you're there as a safe spot. That's all we're here to do. We're not here to solve anything. They know resources are low. That's all systemic, guys. These are systemic issues that are being brought to the forefront, which is really what we've been advocating for over and over and over again. So please understand that we're not meant to wave that wand. We're here to shed light, and actually the universe is helping us shed that light on all of the gaps and all of the needs. So I hope that this helped out. I'm going to try to go through this live again and see all of the comments that came in through here, but there's just so many. I'm overwhelmed in a good way by this community, guys. I love y'all so much, and I'm wishing you so much peace and happiness and light. Reach out to me if you are needing anything. If I don't get to your question, please send me a DM, because I didn't get to a lot of my clients here in the live because it was just so much to go over. But reach out to me, send me a DM. I'm here for y'all. I might take a while to get to that direct message, but I'm definitely here to help out. I'm going to go ahead and stop it here. And I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your week. Take the weekend off to get your rest and take those pauses. And I'm wishing you social work success until next time. Bye, guys.